Mr. Wilson, Bert Wilson.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Lady and gentlemen. I have a concern.
Can you pull the microphone just a little closer to you?
Of course.
Thank you.
I have a concern about the timing on this, too. When I read the Delta plan through, I made big underlines here when it said that the science report is going to be delivered at the end of the public comments period. And I don't think that stands well for the public to make comments if that's going to be done. Certainly, I mean, given the fact that as soon as a permit, if it is going to be issued, is issued, there's going to be hundreds of lawsuits to go through on this. It certainly seems that we can allow an extra 120 days for everybody to get their act together and get their reports in on time, and so the public can really make a comment. Mr. Lund, executive summaries is very important, but when you read the BDCPs, you're going to have to understand that they lie and obfuscate the language. So you think you're reading one thing when it's actually another. So the executive summaries you have to be very careful with that. I'll give you an example. A year ago, I talked to Jerry Merrill in a public meeting, and I said, will the twin tunnels stop reverse flows in the Delta? He said, no. A year later, I read on the BDCP site that, yes, the reverse flows would be stopped in the Delta. I sent an email to Jerry, and he said, you're right, they won't be stopped. And then he changed the word stopped to alleviated. So, you see, they're using language like this to cover up the real intent, the real fact of the matter. And I just wanted you and the rest of the scientific community to be aware of that. Part of the rush on this, part of the rush on this is because Jerry Brown a year ago, July, said, I want to get expletive done. And he wants to get this done because there are talks about this being his legacy and all of that. And I hope you'll put all of that aside and do the job that you're supposed to do, and that's what I'm looking for. Now I want to ask the gentleman there on the end.
No, Bert, please make your presentation, and people will decide if they want to react to it or not.
Can I ask a couple of questions?
Yes, please do.
Okay. Are you or the scientific community interested in what happens to the water after it leaves the Delta?
Yes.
Okay. Because one of the, as a newspaper writer, one of the things that I'm having trouble finding out is where the oil companies get their water for use in fracking. Now, given all of the propaganda that the Water Education Foundation has given out, so that Southern Californians believe that soon the water's not going to come out of the taps, what are they going to say when they learn that so much water is being sold to the oil companies at inflated prices for fracking? Not only that, we
got the question. What's the next question?
Okay. This gentleman here. The scientific community now has said that coronal mass ejections are really the cause of some of the weather that's going on now and could be the cause of earthquakes, which have been dotting the ring of fire quite frequently. How do you think that projects into the Delta situation where the tunnels are going to go right over a subduction zone?
And the next question.
That's it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Ms. Terry.
Don't I get an answer?
I didn't count the number of times you've been before the council, Bert, but I'm sure it's over 30 or 40 by now. We've had this same kind of discussion many times before. You never get the answer you want is the end result of it. and I appreciate and admire your persistence in raising the political questions you're raising. That's fine. But
Well, Phil,
you've registered your questions, and
at
we
least you
appreciate
could say, Bert, I'll take it under advisement.
it. Bert will take it under advisement.